Hey everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be going over 10 mistakes that coin collectors make pretty often, and definitely ones that you do want to avoid. They can be monetarily costly. That's mostly the theme, but they're also kind of how to help you avoid mistakes that'll make your coin collecting experience worse. And as a note, I've definitely done a lot of these and maybe partially done some as well. So there is a lot of first person experience that's going into this video, but I want to share it with you so that you guys can have a great experience when coin collecting. So our first mistake is number one, handling coins poorly. Now, there's a lot of talk about what to do when you have coins, but this is something I've personally done pretty badly in the past. Often we get coins that are uncirculated, they're really nice looking, and they don't have too much wear, and then we handle them really badly. So what I mean by handling is if you touch the coins with your thumb or your fingers, getting the oils on your hand onto these coins. There's also a lot of damage that can be done if you kind of jostle a bunch of coins around and they'll scuff and have some marks like that. And, you wouldn't think that it would be too big of a deal. What's the harm in just picking up a coin? And this more applies to the uncirculated coins, but you still want to practice good, things with all different levels of graded coins. And one or two wrong handlings can really damage a coin. I know I have some coins, maybe it wasn't even me who did it, but there's clearly a thumb mark, kind of that finger has then the oils from the finger oxidize or whatever, and they react with the surface of the coin, and it kind of destroys the coin basically. Our second mistake today is storing the coins improperly. So, by the way, before I get into number two, also don't clean the coins. That's something that is really not something that you want to be doing. But number two, storing those coins badly. I'm only going to go into a few ways that you can do that here, but basically one of the ones is exposing it to the elements. Obviously, you don't want to have it in a position where the coins will get damp or where the coins it's going to be really, really hot or super, super cold. You want to have the coins, in a good place where it's a steady temperature. You also want to avoid too much humidity. That can cause a lot of toning and often not very good toning. And there's also PVC flips that people often store their coins in, and those will actually damage the coins as well. I think that they can cause some type of green corrosion. You want to make sure that the storage of your coins isn't going to do the same damage that you work to avoid when you handle them properly. You may want to look into that a little bit more. I don't have any videos up on proper storage of coins, but it's almost as important, if not more important probably, than handling them properly. And by watching this video, you're somewhat avoiding number three, but number three, I would say, is not learning enough information about coins. There's so much to know about the coin world, and I think that proper education and, getting a sense of what's going on in your collecting journey will really make the experience a lot better for you. I know that I keep learning every day that I'm involved with coins, and there's so much to learn, but it'll really pay off in the long run. If you just go into coin collecting pretty uninformed, unless you're super, super wealthy and have a ton of money to just throw around and not worry if you lose it, there's a lot of ways and places that you'll end up not doing too well. And I think that coming into coin collecting with a proper base long term will really help you, and you can make informed decisions instead of being tricked by little scams or things or cons that are definitely readily available. So important to learn and get your knowledge up basically on the subject of numismatics. Number four, I'd say, is being overly serious. I think that obviously coin collecting is something to be serious about, but there is kind of a line when it's too much. Like, it's important to keep in mind that coin collecting in general, unless you're doing it for your job, is a hobby. So with that, not everything you need to do has to be maximizing the resale value. I know I do some things that definitely aren't monetarily that wise, but I really enjoy them when collecting. And you need to kind of make sure that you're also keeping fun at the center of your collecting experience. Number five is not having a vision. And what I mean by that is it's really, beneficial to any coin collector to know what they want to do in the realm of coins. So for me, I have a Dansko 7070 typeset that I really enjoy filling out, and then in the long term, I want to do the classic commemorative $50 set. But if you just kind of go in and you buy some random coins here and there, that's fun and that's what a lot of people do. But I think it's more rewarding to try to work towards a specific set or a specific way of collecting coins that's going to be, you'll feel a payoff when you get there, and it's something that you can kind of specialize in as opposed to just kind of being all over the place. And if your vision is just learning a lot about a specific thing, that's great. It could be doing YouTube. It could be, filling out that set that you think is a really, really great design. So there's all types of different ways to have a vision. Number 6 is a little bit controversial, but it's something that I definitely have learned, and that's buying a ton of coins with low values, especially ones that aren't silver. So what I'm talking about is, like, I personally have made a bunch of collections just buying individual, like, Indian head pennies that are really, really worn and stuff like that. And it's really rewarding for me to complete those sets, which I didn't end up completing, but that's not really the point. But the resale value on that type of stuff is a lot lower than if I had bought either pretty nice coins in a certain grade and they're holdered and stuff, and they're good coins, or if I had, stuck to silver stuff and purchased a little bit wisely. So I think that you want to definitely do some research, and now's not the time for me to go on a really long lecture, but about how you're gonna try to maintain a little bit of the value if that's something that you care about at all. And definitely, there's no problem in just kind of putting money into the hobby and knowing that won't get too much of it back if there's certain ways that you want to collect. But the notion that if you buy a bunch of $1 wheat pennies and buffalo nickels, that you'll be able to then sell them to like a coin shop for $1, that's not really true, and you'll get a lot less than $1, is what I'm saying. And that's fair, and I'm going to do a video kind of detailing why that process is fair for a coin shop to pay 10 or 15 cents for a $1 coin. But you have to know that going in. Number 7 is not finding a community within the coin collecting world. And this is so important, and there's so many ways to find a community. Some of the ones online, there's YouTube, obviously, there's Reddit, there's all these coin forums, and then in person, you can, make friends with a local coin shop owner. You can find friends that you just know through the coin collecting. There's coin clubs. I think ANA, American Numismatic Association, has a tool to kind of find some coin clubs. I'm going to go to mine. It doesn't meet for a long time, but it will this summer, so I'm looking forward to getting involved there. But there's tons and tons of different ways to get involved, and it's so important that you don't just go it alone. I mean, you can do that if you want, but I think that it's really fun to just share that. That's why I love being on YouTube so much. It's because I get to share the hobby with tons of awesome viewers like you. I also forgot this one, but also coin shows are a great way if there are some in your area, kind of just to check out the local scene. So number 8 and number 9 are kind of related, but I'll just start with number 8, and that's buying really expensive raw coins, especially ones that could be counterfeit. But the problem with raw coins is that they're simply not graded by a professional coin grading service. And that's literally the name of PCGS, but there's also other coin grading services out there like NGC, ANACS, and ICG, though PCGS and NGC are generally regarded as the top ones. But the problem with that is that there's two main ones. One is that it could be counterfeited, and there's some really, really good counterfeits out there, as well as some weaker ones that kind of can prey on newer collectors. And I've bought a couple low dollar counterfeit coins. They didn't really hurt me too much, but if it had been graded or something, I definitely would have known. And then the other one is there's clean coins. So there's often, for people who don't know coins too well, they can be whizzed or just a little bit clean, but the thing is, the coin has been damaged. It's going to be worth fractions often of what a expensive mint state coin would have been, especially for certain coins where mint state is extremely valuable when compared to a XF cleaned or something. So it's really important to, if you don't have a great eye for detecting cleaning counterfeits, to try to stick to the graded stuff, especially in the higher dollar values. But then the other number 9 downfall of some people is that they only buy the grade and not the coin. So sometimes there are coins that are simply overgraded, and sometimes there's coins that are undergraded. But if you can buy the coin and have a really good sense of what's valuable and what's not as valuable, then you can make better decisions and potentially buy some coins that are worth a lot more than what their grade says they are, and avoid the ones that are, knocked down 2 grades, say. Maybe it's a 62 and a 64 holder, and the difference between those could be literally thousands of dollars. So knowing when to avoid the overgraded ones and buy the undergraded ones, super, super important. There's also CAC. That's a really important sticker that you can find on some of the coins. That means that it's solid for its grade. CAC definitely is very, very based on integrity, and they'll give a great opinion as to whether a coin is strong for its grade or not. So that's a good way to know if your coin is solid for the grade. And number 10 is being too flashy or bragging about your coin collection. The problem with this is that unfortunately, robbery is a thing that happens. You want to have your coins secure. One thing people might say is, hey, Christian from Treasure Town, you're pretty much advertising your coin collection. But the thing is, in the scope of things, I don't really own any coins that are worth like $100 or more. Sure, I have some silver that I've gotten from coin roll hunting. I have some wheat pennies, and hopefully, after the $1,000 face value of pennies, I'll get some more Indian head cent ones. But I don't really have, thousands of dollars of coins. And if you do, that's something that you probably want to keep a little bit more to yourself, or share that with a few close friends in the community. But again, you really want to avoid setting yourself up for a robbery or something like that. And that's kind of the conclusion of our 10 points today. But I'd love to hear if you have any other cautions that you'd love to alert people to. Leave those down below in the comment section, and I'll look forward to seeing you with some other coin collecting advice in the future. Thanks for watching the video. If you haven't already, I'd encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay in contact with me on my Instagram, TreasureTownYT, Facebook, TreasureTown, or my website, TreasureTownYT.com. And I love receiving packages from you guys. I'll unbox them in a video once I get enough, and my address for that is Treasure Town, P.O. Box 201, Greenwich, Connecticut, 06836. So I'll see you on some of my other videos.